On today's episode of The Front Row, we are at Lubbock Christian University in the office of Dr. Laurie Doyle, who is the chair of the Visual and Performing Arts area here at LCU. Dr. Doyle, welcome to The Front Row. It's nice to have you back.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for coming out.
Of course. One of the things you oversee is all the areas of art and music, theater, and those kinds of things. And you have a new production that's going in on Friday and Saturday night here at LCU. It's Murder by the Book. So tell us about that. How did you decide that that's what you wanted to do?
Well, when you're looking for a play, you always have to consider how many students you have, where their talents lie, what's going to be interesting and exciting to the audience, and maybe something you haven't done in a while. So we had not produced a murder mystery in quite a few years, and Murder by the Book is just a delightful script. It's very witty, very urbane, and lots of neat vocabulary to introduce to the students.
Well, it sounds like a great choice for you. Yeah, excellent.
We've had a lot of fun with it, and the students are working very hard and developing some really neat characters. It's set in London, so we needed to work on the dialect, and it's one of those murder mysteries where you think you know what's happening, and then it twists, and then it turns, and it twists again, and even at the end of the show, you're not sure who did what.
So it makes it interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Well, and it is a play. It's not a musical.
Correct.
It's a play, right? How did you go about casting it?
Well, we actually cast at the end of the last semester so the students would have time to take the script home and hopefully work on their lines over the holidays. That doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. And it's an open casting call at LCU. Any student is eligible to audition. And we do cold readings from the script and kind of see if they're flexible and if they can take direction, and if they can use their imaginations and create these characters. And so, like I said, I got some really good people who are, and some of them are freshmen, but they're doing a great job.
Good. Well, tell us a little bit about the characters in the play.
So Selwyn Piper is a famous mystery author in London. The play doesn't really say when it is set. Most plays will say this is 1960 or 2010. This one does not. But you began to put together the clues, and so we knew it had to be after World War II, but really not past, say, the 1950s. And so we've kind of settled on about 1951. So Selwyn Piper is a very famous author in London, 1951. He has an estranged wife, Imogen Piper, who wants a divorce, and they have a very tempestuous relationship, which makes for lots of fun on stage. Right. He has a secretary named Christine Scott who does all the typing for him. One of the ways that we know it's not very modern because she's still on a typewriter.
Right, yeah.
And then his publisher, John Douglas, who figures into the story. And then finally, Peter Fletcher, who has moved in next door. And so there are gunshots and there are dead bodies, and like I said, it's a lot of fun, and you're not sure what's going to happen next or who's going to do what.
Right. Well, sounds like there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of options, a lot of people that could do it. Right, exactly. Tell us a little bit about your cast. Who do you have playing the parts?
Well, my good friend and one of our staff members here, Joshua Dansby, is playing Selwyn. And Joshua is just an excellent actor. He's actually in our marketing and communication department. but he acts for me a lot in the summers, in our summer musicals. And of course, he acted a lot when he was in school here. And he agreed to come and work with us again. And it's quite a role. He has a lot of lines. Imogen, his wife, is played by Willow Walton. I believe she's a junior here at LCU. She's done some musicals with us. This is her first pretty big role. She was in last spring's show, but her role wasn't quite as large as this one. She's doing an excellent job. You'll notice her by the fiery red hair that she has. Christine Scott is being played by Elena Esteban. She's a freshman theater major with just tons of talent and possibility. She's doing a great job. John Douglas is being played by another freshman, Miles Williams. New, didn't know he could act. He's doing a really, really nice job. And then Peter Fletcher is being played by Josiah Branch. I think he's a sophomore. He may be a freshman. But anyway, I'm extremely impressed with him. And it's just so much fun to see students and young staff members who can use their talents, and they know that they got these talents from God, and they're doing their best, working really hard to improve them and to shine, not to their own glory, but to His.
Well, it sounds like you have a great cast to work with, and you're directing, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, and you've done a lot of these. I know you did Little Shop of Horrors, and what sort of inspired you to turn to directing and produce these shows for the university?
Well, my husband and some of my friends might just say I'm bossy. I don't know. Well, my first 2 degrees were in music, but I had started being involved in theater even back in high school. And after I was teaching here for quite a few years, began to look at how I could serve the university the best. And we needed a second PhD in theater to be able to continue our teaching field in theater, because theater ed is one of our degrees. Mm-hmm. And so I actually visited with some of the administration at Tech. And I said, I need to know, should I go the music direction? Do I go the theater direction? And one of the former heads of the School of Music said, I think you would have to go, to a different university to get what you need in music, but you can get what you need in theater here. And of course, I had a husband who was in the public school system, and I had 2 little boys at home. So it made sense to stay here. And I've always been fascinated by theater. I'm a detail person. I want everything to be able to draw you into the story, to the time period. I don't want anything to jump out like, oh, that's not right. That shouldn't be there. I want everything to be correct as much as possible. And so that's director language.
Yeah.
So we try the best we can to get the costumes, to get the set, to get the dialect, to get the props, every part that goes into creating the world of the show. And that excites me, that interests me, that gets me up in the morning when I'm thinking of, well, I was just at home getting the skin off of a lemon so that we could create a fake cocktail on stage. And most people wouldn't even know that lemon goes in that cocktail, but that's the kind of detail that I get excited about, is finding out those things and then trying to recreate them on stage.
Right. Well, you obviously are very detail oriented. That's great. So do you get a lot of fulfillment from directing? Do you enjoy it? Is it?
I really do. Working with the students, and then in the summers with people around town, some of whom are alumni of LCU. Some are just community people that want to do a show, and our schedule seems to fit their summer. so working with those people, creating in them a group, a family, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Theater, it's not like television or movies where you can archive it and keep it forever. These performances are gone, and no two of them are ever the same. And again, that fascinates me, that idea of creating something with a group, that cohesion, and then once you do it, you have those memories, but it's never the same again.
Yeah.
So yes, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy working with people, and I enjoy all the research and trying to recreate a world on stage.
Right. Well, and part of that are sets, costumes, and props that you mentioned. Do you have an in-house shop here that provides that for you? How do you stage a play?
Well, we have a group that works together. I don't have a lot of full-time people. Dr. Don Williams is our technical advisor, and he has worked in theater for many, many years, and so he helps create the ideas, come up with the design. Shyler Lyles, who is not employed by the university except when I hire him to help with shows, usually does the building and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have students. Some of our art students will help with painting, that kind of thing. Mackenzie Dowley has just started working with us this year. She's done the costumes for this show. And then I usually handle most of the props. We either pull things from what we have, or we go out and find things that we think would fit.
Mm-hmm.
In bigger shows, we cooperate sometimes with other theaters here in town. So we may rent something from Lubbock Community Theater or Moonlight Musicals. I love the fact that the theaters in town are very collaborative,
Right.
and will help each other when we need to.
Sure.
And we do the same for them when we have something that they can use.
Mm-hmm. Right. Excellent. I love collaboration. That makes so many things possible. So tell us about the theater. Where is it being produced?
We're doing this show in our small theater. It's called the CDC Theater for the Fine Arts. It's in the CDC building. It's the last building on campus before you get to the airplane hangar that is the rec center. And this theater is wonderfully intimate, and seats about 100. And so you really can be up close with the set and the characters and see exactly what they're doing. It can be a little nerve-wracking for the actors when their friends or family are sitting on the front row and it's only about 10 feet away from them.
Right, exactly.
But it's great for a show like this that's small and just has the one setting. We're in Selwyn's apartment the entire time. And so in terms of set, it's a pretty simple show. Doesn't require an awful lot. But you still got to create that world that I was talking about.
Yeah. For people who are interested, you've told us where it is. How can people get tickets?
Well, the performances are Friday night and Saturday night at 7:30. And you can go online to lcu.edu/tickets. Or you can get tickets at the door if you wish to. Either way, online or at the door, we would certainly be happy to have people come out on campus and watch this fun show.
Right. Wonderful. The show is Murder by the Book. It's produced here at Lubbock Christian University, and the director is Dr. Laurie Doyle, who is our guest on the front row today. Laurie, as always, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate being able to talk about our work.